Oh, yeah. No. You're absolutely right, Zachary. Like, he's absolutely a Trump clone. Like, he's wearing bronzer. That's a spray tan that he has. Like, you can tell, like, when you look at his upper eyelid, it is a slightly different tint than the rest of his face. That is how you know. Like, if it was just a tan, it would be uniform. What's the stream gonna be about? The stream's politics, the stream's drama. I want to catch up on the US election. Let's see. Ron DeSantis drops out and backs Trump. I mean, I figured that he would back Trump if he were to drop out. Oh, man. He was polling in the single digits. That is embarrassing. Like, how do you become the governor of Florida and poll in the single digits? Mrs. Haley is going to go head-to-head in New Hampshire with Trump on Tuesday, the second in a series of state-by-state contests to pick a Republican nominee for the November general election. I guess I know what we're watching tomorrow. Nearly 5-minute-long video on X, formerly Twitter, released Sunday afternoon. Mr. DeSantis said his campaign had left it all out on the field. Oh my god. Does anyone have a link? I need to see this video. He acknowledged disagreements with the former president, but said Mr. Trump was superior to Mr. Biden, who is almost certain to be the Democratic nominee at November's general election. Okay, we got it. Right here, folks.
Greetings from Florida. The warmth of being home is a reminder why I've chosen public service. From joining the United States Navy and serving in Iraq, to representing the people in the U.S. Congress, and now serving as governor of Florida. And it reminds me why I decided to run for president, to fight for those who have been forgotten in this country. This is America's time for choosing. We can choose to allow a border invasion, or we can choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. We can choose political indoctrination, or we can choose classical education. These choices are symptoms of the underlying struggle to ensure that constitutional government can endure and that Western civilization can survive. And we launched this campaign to bring accountability to
the Western civilization, the border invasion stuff. That is so, it's so obvious. The white nationalist rhetoric that he's like, obviously fucking, like, it's so non-transparent. And like, remember like back when like his fucking staffers posted the Fast Wave video with the black sun in it? That shit was insane. I will never forget. Yeah. It happened.
And we launched this campaign to bring accountability to government, regain sovereignty at our border, and restore sanity to our society. We cannot succeed as a country if we allow our nation to be invaded, our currency to be debased, our cities to crumble, and our kids to be indoctrinated. The DC elites who facilitated this mess do not care about—
It's fucking crazy hearing crumbling cities from the governor of motherfucking Florida, of all places in the US, to talk about crumbling cities.
And they do not work for you. They work for themselves. They seek to accumulate power at your expense to pursue an agenda that is harmful to the American people. Citizens do not serve politicians. It is the duty of politicians to serve you. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Reversing the decline of this nation requires leadership that delivers big results for the people we are elected to serve. I have a record of leading with conviction, championing an agenda marked by bold colors, delivering on my promises, and defeating the people who are responsible for our nation's decline. That is the type of leadership we need for all of America. Now, over the past many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country to deliver a message of hope, that decline is a choice, and that we can, in fact, succeed again as a nation. Nobody worked harder, and we left it all out on the field. Now, following our second-place finish in Iowa, we've prayed and deliberated on the way—
Oh, yeah. No. You're absolutely right, Zachary. Like, he's absolutely a Trump clone. Like, he's wearing bronzer. That's a spray tan that he has. Like, you can tell, like, when you look at his upper eyelid, it is a slightly different tint than the rest of his face. That is how you know. Like, if it was just a tan, it would be uniform.
Way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by
This is okay. So like, this is what got me interested in again, right? Because like up until now, I had no idea what the fuck was going on with this election. Like, I thought like the Republicans, there was no way forward for them because they were all fighting each other. But with Ron DeSantis dropping out and backing Trump, I'm actually a little worried now. If Trump goes up against Biden, I'm pretty sure that Trump will win. Like, the only reason that Trump lost in the first place was because it was a lot easier when COVID just started, when Trump was president, to beat him. But then we got, like, the entirety of a first term of Biden under COVID. And there isn't a huge crisis looming on the horizon that people can point to and say, oh, this is all your fault, Biden. This was always gonna fucking happen. Yeah, Trump, yeah, he only lost because of COVID. He got COVID a week before the election. I don't think Nikki Haley is going to win the election because I think Americans hate women more than they hate Democrats. I don't think that's going to happen.
Relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over. I thank all of our passionate supporters who...
This is so funny coming from the guy that's getting fucking sued by Disney right now. Has there been any move on that? Like, the last time I heard, he was basically begging Disney, like, hey, I'm done this. I'm not gonna go after you anymore. Please stop trying to take me to court.
Who've stood by us through it all. That we had people volunteer to come to Iowa in the middle of a blizzard to knock on doors and make phone calls touched us dearly. No candidate had more thrown at him, but no candidate had so many committed volunteers and staff. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Casey, and our kids, Madison, Mason, and Mamie. Casey's gone far above and beyond in her support for our campaign and for our cause. She's not only a great wife and mother, she's a great American who cares deeply about the future of the country that our kids will inherit. Our kids have seen and done a lot on the trail, from playing on the famed Field of Dreams baseball site in Iowa to making their first snowman in New Hampshire. They are one of the reasons we fight so hard for what we believe in. Winston Churchill once remarked that success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. While this campaign has...
There's no fucking way that's a real quote. I don't believe that's a real quote. Hold on. I gotta fact check this live. Alright, International Churchill Society. Unfortunately, Mr. Smith, we regret to advise that this is a double misquote. Not only did Churchill never say those words, he never said the similar, more usually attributed to him, which are success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Basis on careful research in the canon of 50 million words by and about Churchill, including all of his books, articles, speeches, and papers. Woo! Fucking idiot.
Continues. Down here in Florida, we will continue to show the country how to lead. Thank you and God bless.
Oh my God. Check the community notes, okay? It's not community noted, but I did sign up for the program. No proof Churchill said this. This quote is actually from a Budweiser ad in 1938. What? Success was never final and failure never fatal. It was the courage that counted. Isn't opportunity in America today greater than it was in the days of our grateful forefathers? Live light, every golden minute of it. Enjoy Budweiser, every golden drop of it. Fucking quoted a Budweiser ad, dude.